Namaste everyone. Welcome again to Bodhi Surf Yoga. So if you've been following the previous sequences, we're on session number 3. Now, once again, this is sort of like the curriculum, an example of the curriculum we follow on the body sessions. Always the levels change depending on how the group or the level where the group is. So this would be more like level 1, 2, the practice that we're doing, like not beginners, people who have practiced, people who are good in good condition, and it can have it can be a nice practice for intermediate as well. What do we need today? As usual, it's always good, like for those sessions, to get prepared that 2 blocks and 1 strap. And also here, this is we're gonna need it at the end. This is what I created, like a little bit. So grab blankets, fold extra yoga mats. You can use towels, but we need to create something like this for us to do shoulder standing right at the end of the practice. Now, you don't need to do shoulder standing. I'll show another variation. So if you have full shoulder standing and you don't need props, that's another option. So you work with what you have. Today it's a well-rounded class. We're moving forward. Now this is the 3rd session. This is when we have people here, people start getting a little bit tired from all the surfing, all the action, all the yoga as well. So 2 things can happen. If people need a more restorative class, that will happen. But otherwise, if we're about to go on a break because of the day after we get a break. But so if we can turn it up a little bit and flow a little bit more, we will do so. So it depends on where people are at that day. But normally, I always call this class short and sweet. So we'll just do a simple asana practice, well-rounded, that will have a little bit of everything, and it will progress according to what we have done every day. Before we start the practice, we're going to sit down in a comfortable space, Sukhasana. We're going to elongate the spine, and we're going to close the eyes and just get the breath ready for the practice. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. A few more long breaths. Inhale. So take this moment just to create a transition between your daily life and your practice. Go to the breath. Feel the breath. Okay, on the next exhale, we're going to start opening up the eyes and releasing the posture. So slowly go ahead and open your eyes. And we're going to release the posture, and we're going to start in mountain pose. I'm going to stick with you. Step into the front of the mat. Options to bring the big toes together. Spread the rest of your toes or separate your feet hip distance apart. Ground yourself, feel the toes pressing into the floor, feel the heels also pressing into the floor, and start feeling that energy up into the legs. Bring the tailbone down and sit the belly up. Feel that you're expanding the front of the body. Elongate your spine and draw the shoulder blades back. Chin in line with the floor. Inhale, raise the arms high. Maybe get the hands together, look at your stomach, extend the elbows. Exhale, take the hands down to the floor. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Extend the spine, gaze up to the front. Exhale, come back to Uttanasana. Inhale, arms up again. Samastitihi. Let's repeat it 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. Samastitihi. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's move into Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step with the feet back. Let's move into plank pose and use the knees into the floor if you need to. Bend the elbows, hugging the ribcage, shoulder blades back. Come down, belly down. Release the back toes. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, press the knees down to the floor and step into downward facing dog. And we're gonna rest here for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and the last one, 3. Now bend the knees, gaze up to the front. See if you can walk the right foot between the hands or use small steps, and then walk the left foot. Inhale, extend the spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, back to Uttanasana. Inhale, arms up. Samastitihi. Repeat 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, extend. Exhale, walk the feet back. Plank pose. This time, if you can keep your knees away from the floor, lower chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 breaths. 1, 2, and the last one. Now from here, see if you can step with the left foot forward, followed by the right foot. Ardha Uttanasana, extend the spine. Exhale, Uttanasana. Keep the legs strong. Inhale, coming up. Samastitihi. 1 last time. Arms up, inhale. Hands down, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. From here, bend the knees. Step with the right foot between the hands. Bring the left foot. Ardha Uttanasana, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. Samastitihi. Now we're going to modify Surya Namaskar D. Bend the knees. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands down, back to Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step with the feet back. Plank pose. Chaturanga. Inhale, roll the toes, come into up dog. Exhale, roll the toes down dog. Now bring the right foot right between your hands. Use your hand to move that right foot right there if you need to. Let's drop the back heel down to the floor. And inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, open up the arms, Virabhadrasana 2. Take the hands back down to the floor. Come back into plank, inhaling. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Second side. Left foot comes forward, the back heel down to the floor. Inhale. Again, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Now take the hands back down to the floor. One more time. Always avoid the Chaturanga if it feels too much. Or use the knees down to the floor. Lower Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now from here, step with the left feet between the hands. Take the right foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Look up. Exhale, down. Inhale, bend the knees. Chair pose. Samasthiti. Let's repeat it one more time. Inhale, bend the knees. Arms up. Exhale, back to Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the legs back. Option to do Chaturanga or just go straight to down dog. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot comes forward. Back heel down to the floor. And inhale, you're going to come into Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, you're going to open up the arms in Virabhadrasana 2. From here, we're going to take the block inside, or you might not need the block. It depends on the flexibility. And you're going to put the right hand on the block, take the left hand up, and hold it here. Keep lowering the head and spreading the legs. Drawing the chest back as you pull the tailbone forward. One last breath. Press with your feet down to the floor. Move the block to the side. Inhale, come back up into Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, take the hands down. Take the hips, look into the floor again. Come back to plank. Option to do Vinyasa. Bend the elbows, slowly come down. Inhale, back to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot comes forward. Back heel down on the floor. Put the block right inside of the front foot if you're gonna use it. Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, open up. Virabhadrasana 2. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, take the hand on the block. Take the opposite arm up. And breathe. Last breath. Okay, look down. Remove the block for a moment. Come back into Virabhadrasana 2. And as we exhale, we're going to take the hands down onto the floor. Step back into the plank. An option to go straight to down dog or do Vinyasa. Inhaling. Exhale. And let's go back and rest into downward facing dog. Take a moment here and breathe deep. Now from here, you're gonna take the left leg up and back. Keep the back leg straight. Keep kicking an imaginary wall behind you. Keep lifting the leg, but try to keep the hips pointing to the floor. And as we exhale, we're gonna step with that left foot right between the hands. Drop the back knee down to the floor, release the back toes. Coming up, and we're gonna twist. Variation number 1, you can just bring the right arm across the left thigh, the other side of the left thigh, and hold it here. Variation number 2, if you can bring your hands right in the center of your chest into prayer posture, do so. Variation number 3, lift the back knee away from the floor and hold it here. And breathe. Take one last breath. Look down first, and then take the hands down. And let's step back into down. And now let's move to the second side. So bring that right leg behind you and keep that leg extended. Keep kicking that wall. Keep lifting the leg as you lower the chest. And exhale. Bring the right foot between the hands. Drop the back knee. Sink the hips down. And then coming up. And do the twist that worked for you on the previous side. Try to lengthen in the spine before, as you inhale. And then relax the spine as you exhale. Perhaps you can go on a deeper twist. Bring the hands right in line with the chest. And do whatever variation you did previously. Last breath. So let's look down. Take the hands right next to the feet. Step back into downward facing dog. Take a moment here. And practice grounding and rooting those fingertips down on the floor. Same with the feet. Spread the toes. Relax the heels down. Stick the tailbone up. And then let's try to walk the right foot between the hands, followed by the left foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to Uttanasana. Utkatasana, bend the knees. Arms out. Samasthiti. And from here, we're going to step into Parahastasana. Let's separate the feet hip distance apart and come all the way down. Now, if you're not reaching your toes, you're going to use a strap and put the strap around the feet. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to bring the hands right on top of under the feet. Press with your toes down on your hands. Inhale, lengthening the spine. And extend the tailbone up, bend the elbows, and relax the head down. And you guys stay here. I'm gonna show you from different angles so you can see how the posture works. Now, keep the knees a little bit bent if you feel that pain at the back of the knees. If you feel comfortable, extend the legs, but try not to lock the knees, not to create pressure on the back of the knee. Tailbone comes up, spread the sit bones, chest goes down. Neck relax, elbows bent. Then extend the spine again. Release the feet. Come with the hands on the hips and slowly come on up. And now come back to mountain pose, feet together. And we're going to move into Trikonasana. You can do as we did yesterday using a block, or this time you can try without a block. Inhale, extend the arms. Reach forward, exhale, the hand is going to go on your leg. The left arm comes up. And we hold it here. Keep breathing, inhaling. Exhale. Gazing at your thumb, the left arm, or just looking up to the front. Now coming up slowly, inhaling. And now turn the toes to the opposite side. Again, reach forward, hinge at the left hip. Exhale, take the hand down, opposite arm up. Keep pressing the inside of the left foot, the outside of the back foot. Try to bring the chest, make sure it's in line with the hip. Shoulder blades back. Relax the rib cage. Soften the rib cage. And relaxing your breath. Now inhale, come on up. Bringing the feet parallel. Exhale, step with the feet back together. Now for the next one, we're going to need the 2 blocks. So go ahead and look for the 2 blocks. And we're going to step with the left foot back. And you're going to bring the blocks right in the front. Define the length you want to use. It depends on the flexibility and how comfortable you feel. So right now I'm going to leave it on the middle. But you can use them flat or you can use them tall. However you would like. From here, we're going to come halfway down. The blocks are right next to the feet. And I want you place your hands flat on the blocks. And start bringing that right sit bone back. Maybe open up the back toes a little bit. And keep pressing the back heel down to the floor. Lift the spine, inhaling. And as you exhale, slowly bring the torso down. Hold it here. Keep drawing the shoulder blades down and back towards the waistline. Relax the head. Continue there with your breath. And now extend the spine again, inhaling. And we're going to move into Parivrtta Trikonasana. So, options here. You can stay with the left hand flat on the block. Okay. You can bring the left hand to the opposite block. If you're not new to the posture, you can bring the left hand down on the floor. Okay. Whatever variation you do, pull the right hip back. Maybe do it manually. Grab the right hand, pull the right hip back. Extend the spine and lift up the right arm and twist. Exhale, the hand goes down. Okay. Now come back to this modified Parsvottanasana. Take the hands on the hips, ground the feet down onto the floor, and inhale, slowly come on up. We're going to take the right foot back, and we're going to switch. The left foot comes forward. And we're going to do exactly the same on the next side. The blocks are going to be tall. Okay. Start bringing that left sit bone back. Maybe open the back toes a little bit. Press the hands, press the blocks, and inhale, lengthening the spine. And as you exhale, slowly come on forward. And keep breathing. Now, extend the spine. Now we're going to move into Parivrita Trikonasana. Choose your modification. So maybe you're going to bring the right hand to the left block. And with the left hand, pull that left hip back. So you can create lengthening on the left side of the body. And take the left hand out and breathe. Exhale, the hand gonna go back down. We're gonna remove the blocks, put them back to the side, hands on the hips, and slowly coming up. The way you get in and out of the pose is as important as the pose itself. Sometimes we can injure the most by the way we get out of the pose. So the next posture, we're gonna practice some balance. Variation number 1, you're gonna stay on the left foot. Even get out of your mat if you need to have it more balanced. Okay? So you're gonna stay on the left foot and you're gonna take the right leg up and hold it here. If you want to move further into the pose, grab a strap or either flex it like we did yesterday. If flexibility allows, you're gonna take the right leg up into Tita Hasta Parangusha. Hold it here. Keep lengthening the spine, keep rounding that left foot. And if you feel more balanced by taking the left arm to the side, do so. Otherwise, take the hand on the hip. Hold it there. Try for the sit bones to stay together. Try not to lift up the tailbone. Bring the sit bone in and take the leg to the side. Keep gazing at a very steady point. Keep your drishti very solid. That's how we call it the gazing in yoga. Now, try for the sit bone to stay in, right next to the left sit bone. Take the leg back out, back to center, and release. And let's do the second side. Bring the left leg up. Again, you can just hold your knee, or you can take the left leg up. Keep breathing. Keep lengthening the spine. Try for the shoulder to go back into the socket. And take the leg to the side. Keep gazing a very steady point. That will help your balance. Take the leg back to the front. And with the exhale, you're going to slowly release the leg down. And now we're going to move into the floor. So let's do that by doing a vinyasa. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come into plank. And bring the belly slowly down onto the floor. We're going to bring the hands back with the palms up. Shoulder blades back. Try to stay with the feet together, but if not, keep the feet separate, hip distance apart. Now, inhale, lift the legs and chest away from the floor. Exhale, drop. Chin back down to the floor. Let's repeat this. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rest. One last time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rest. And then take the hands right in line with the chest. Pull the chest up. Press the knees down to the floor. And extend the legs up to the front. We're going to come as usual. Start the sitting positions with Paschimottanasana. Forward. So let's begin by grabbing the big toes and walking the sit bones back. Bend the elbows, draw the shoulder blades back. Inhale, elongate the spine. And as you exhale, Try to keep the spine as straight as possible and come on a forward. Now inhale, extend the spine back up, and as you exhale, release the toes. We're going to move into Parivrita Janusirsasana. We did this posture on Monday. Now we're going to do the twisted variation, to call it in a way. So we're going to bend the right knee, and we're going to take the left leg to the side. And once we bend the knee, if we have no issues, we're going to bring the right knee to the side. Now we're going to come to the left side. Ideally, the left elbow is going to be in front of that knee, and if we can, we grab the big toe. Now we're going to have tutorials to explain better all these more complex postures. For the meantime, if you're not reaching the elbow down in front of their knee, just stay here or even grab a strap if you need to. But if you can, you're going to bring that left arm right in front of the leg. Okay. We're trying to open up the right side of the butt. So extend that right side, lift the arm up. And first variation, we just bring the arm to the side, creating an extension from the hip all the way up, all the way to the side, right side of the body. If flexibility allows, we're going to grab the left side of the foot and we're going to twist and open up the side and hold it here. Deep inhaling. Deep exhaling. Let's relax into the pose. One last breath. And now inhale, coming up. And we're going to do the same thing in the opposite side. So let's switch sides. Bend the left knee. Open up that right leg. Again, the knee is open to the back, not exactly to the front. We want to open it up a little bit more. Then we're going to come here and we're going to bring the right elbow right in front of the knee. We're going to grab the big toe if possible, and the arm stays on the front. We're going to start lengthening that left side of the body. Take the arms across the head like, and try to see if you can grab the other edge of that right foot. And we hold it here, breathing deeply in here. Try to relax more and more into the pose. Go deeper into the pose. Again, coming up, inhaling. And as we exhale, we're going to release the legs back again into Kashinotana. So this time, if we want to continue moving forward, we can whether grab the edges of the feet, inhale, lengthening the spine, exhale, rest, or if you want to grab the hands behind your feet, that would be another variation. Whatever you choose, you can always choose the strap. Inhale, step. Exhale, lift. Take one last breath. And let's go back up. Inhaling, extending the spine. Exhale, release. And just close with seated positions. We're going to move into Navasana. And this requires a little bit of a strength in the abdominal muscles. It's great to create like a healthy core. Okay, you want to keep the back straight. So variation number 1, you can just stay here. That would be great. Variation number 2, you take your legs up. Keep your knees bent. Variation number 3, take your legs straight and hold it here. We're gonna come into 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly take the legs out. Muy bien. That's very good. Open up the legs, hip distance apart. Grab the back of the legs. Vertebra by vertebra, we're going to move down to the floor. Once the whole spine is resting on the floor, we're going to bring the knees in. Hug the legs and rock to the sides. Massage your back. And resting here. Now come back to center. And to close the class, we're going to do shoulder standing, but I have several variations for everyone. If you have neck issues, shoulder issues, or simply it's not for you, you haven't tried, it's not a good idea to try it at your home without someone supervising if you're not ready for it. So instead of doing shoulder standing, you can put a block and just elevate the legs and come here for 12 breaths. That would be great. It's a great way to do it. Second variation, and this is what I told you at the beginning of the class that we can create. So grab blankets, mats, or whatever you have to create this. And I would say it's like a 5 centimeters of space we're creating. So the idea in here is that we're going to put the shoulders right in line with the edge of this mat. This is a folded mat inside with a towel, with a beach towel. So this is ideal for those people who feel a lot of tension when they do shoulder standing. And also it's going to help you to elevate the hips a little bit more. So the edges of the mat are going to be right in line with the shoulders. And we're going to keep the legs back. And we're going to try to grab on the kidney area, hands on the kidney area. And then we're going to bring the elbows in and elevate the legs. So that could be another variation. If you're already doing that, hold this position for 12 reps. Now, final variation, you do it with anything. This is more demanding. It's really, really good to open up the upper back, and I feel it has contributed a lot to help me with my shoulders, and even like the whole lengthening of the spine. Again, you're gonna keep the legs back, bring the elbows in, and then hold the lower back, and then start working on bringing the shoulders away from the earth and lift up the legs. And we're gonna hold it here, 12 breaths. As much as we can. We're gonna try to bring all the body from the shoulders up to the heels in one single leg. A straight line. So to do so, we try to bring the elbows in. We try to bring the shoulders away from the earth, and we try to pull with the hand, extending the upper back. Okay, from here, we're all gonna move, except if you're just like with your legs up and your sacrum on a block. We're gonna move the legs into halasana. If you're doing shoulder standing, just move the legs up above the head. And see if you can interlock the fingers and take your hands down. If you can interlock the fingers, just take your hands down. Hold it here, halasana. Maybe the feet won't touch the floor. Maybe you can put a block right between your feet and the floor. If your feet are touching the floor, then great.
Then the hands are gonna go flat on the floor and vertebra by vertebra, slowly, very slowly. We're gonna move down back to the floor. This is quite an intense posture, so we need to do the contra posture. We're gonna do the fish pose. Sometimes this posture is hard to understand for some people. So you're just gonna lift up the neck, the head, and you're gonna bend the elbows. The elbows are gonna be pressing on the floor, so the tailbone. You're gonna curve the spine and bring the top of the head down to the floor. This is variation number 1. Variation number 2, you can extend the legs down. Then relax the torso back down. Bend the knees. We're gonna roll to the side just to come up into seated position. And this is something I like to do after shoulder standing. I like to, for the last time, I like to go on downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now finally we're gonna sit down. We're gonna cross the legs right in the front. We're gonna go back into Sukhasana, cross the legs, cross-legged position. We're gonna extend the spine and we're gonna bring the index and thumb together. Close your eyes. And before we move into Shavasana, we're gonna work on going back into the breath. Maybe it feels different now. See where you're at with your breath. See if it has changed from the beginning to the end of the class. Just listen to your own breath, coming in and out. Inhaling and exhaling. Feel how beautiful and delicious it feels to just observe the breath. Notice how it brings your mind and your awareness right into this present moment. Notice the quality of the breath. And then as you exhale, you're gonna slowly open up the eyes, release the hands. And we're gonna slowly move into Shavasana. Again, as usual, if you want to put something under the knees to relax the lower back, feel welcome to do so. Also, it's a good idea to look for something to cover your eyes, or even like to look for a blanket to cover the whole body. Do what it takes for you to feel comfortable in the Shavasana and take 10 to 15 minutes of Shavasana. Rest and relax. We hope you enjoyed this practice. Remember, the best way to do yoga and the way it's supposed to be done is by respecting and honoring the body without forcing. By guiding yourself with the breath. So hopefully you're enjoying this practice, and hopefully we will see you tomorrow on the next session.